What's up, WWE Champions Universe? It's Rusty from Champions Chat back again with this Back to Basics series that Lee and Rusty and I are doing, which can only mean one thing: more Zombie Chelsea content and more from my buddy Blueski. What's up, Blueski?
Hey guys, this is going to be the final part of this little mini series, and we're going to dive into plates. With Chelsea, there's a couple options that we could go with,
Right.
and
I mean, she's Zombie Chelsea entombed, and she has a plate, so obviously we will pull up her plate and put it right on her, right?
well, hang on before you just jump into it. You want to put a plate on somebody and read the verbiage and make sure that's where you're going. So before you just throw this plate on her, you got to say, well, what moveset am I running for it? Am I running the blast gem? Or am I going to say, no, I'm able to run the multiply gem with the triple purple. So instead of throwing this one on her, I'm going to go ahead and throw the Devon Specs, which is an ultimate plate, because I'm able to get more gem damage out of that, whereas this one wouldn't do me any good. Now, with that being said, because she doesn't have a top plate that really affects her currently, they haven't released one that does much. You could throw, I think it's DX Army on her to try to get a couple more multis, but if you don't find that you need it, you could really put her basic plate. That way it's one strap that's got both plates on it because she doesn't use a bottom plate. Well, I'm going to reverse that. When you're using her hat plate, you do kind of want a cascade plate on the bottom of that. So for this strap, for this build set, we're going to say leave that one off because we're focused on gem damage for purple moves.
Mm-hmm.
So we would use the Devon Specs no, I'm sorry, not Devon, Bubba Specs, which is going to be an ultimate plate. And you could really leave that top one. Now, once Rusty finds that plate, we're going to look at the verbiage because verbiage is very important when it comes to plates.
Okay.
With this one, it's very simple. Whenever you activate a purple move, increase your purple gem damage by 50%. So as we click those purple moves, her gem damage is going to scale. That works for the triple purple move.
Okay, I'm gonna add the specs. Now you're telling me, right? I've got 1, 2, 3 purple moves, and so it's saying when you activate a purple move, so I'll hit 1, 2, 3. Purple gem damage will increase by 50, 50, 50. So 150% is what will happen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that's really strong, and this is one plate in a cycle of plates, meaning when you do a color move, you boost that same color of gem. So really good. Things like the buzzard plate for green. Things like the zombie LA Knight plate for yellow. Things like the new Valkyria's crest for red when you hit. So if you have what we would call in other games, we would call if you have a monocolored loadout and you have a plate that boosts that mono color, that singular color, that is a very strong place to be, because if you've watched our other 2 videos, you've seen Blueski explain how to pick the right strap, gem damage, how to dial in your metals to enhance your gem damage. And now we're talking about the plate that enhances, or is really the exclamation point on that gem damage. What else you got for us, Blueski?
Well, one thing to keep in mind with these, where you're going to be stacking your gem damage by hitting multiple moves, is they do not work off of a sub. That is something to keep in mind. Now, granted, we're not using a sub with Zombie Chelsea for this build, but say you've got somebody like Tech Sammy, the old Tech Sammy. He has a triple green moveset, so he's move damage, so a lot of people ran him with the Sheik in the past, but some might be like, hey, I've got this Buzzard's Beak. I could put that on Sammy. Now, if you're going to use that sub, you're better off using a sub plate over the buzzard speak for that. You could still get some damage out of it, but you're not going to be getting the max out of it. Anytime you've got one of those, you want to look at the verbiage. If they're using a sub, you want something that has sub gem, damage after the sub. Whether it be the Ronda's jacket or
All Heart.
the new Naomi one.
Naomi's plate. Mm-hmm.
Gremlin's ears, anything like that does gem damage after a sub for those. And I think you'll get more out of them. Now, if Tech Sammy is going to be your top guy and you want to throw that buzzard speak on him, by all means, you'll still get some out of it, but you're not going to be getting the max. It is important when selecting these plates because if you don't have the Strap Pass, you're limited to 1 per month. With Strap Pass, you get 10, and then you could buy additional on the portal now. But you want to be selective of where you're putting these plates. MP plates, I'm not too big on. I mainly use those for CSS. So those, by all means, throw on somebody and try to see if it'll work. But usually people that are putting those on somebody, it's for sub setup or taking somebody like Maxine that needs that. If you don't have the Piper plate, you're trying to use, what is it? La Familia. To be able to hit that buff twice and get the most out of her. You don't have to jump over to her, Rusty. She was just an example with that.
I don't have a strap on her. I was going to show it.
But Maxine's another one that's great too, where if you don't have her gear, these videos are really going to be beneficial as far as, all right, I've got a Piper plate on her, but she's still not hitting. She's another one that you've got to really max out her levels and find those substats in order to boost the most you can out of her. Because she's one that she's very good, but she's very good with the gear.
Right. So this is what I've got on her. I've got a La Familia and a Piper plate, but I share this strap with my best modern showboat, so that I don't have to move the plate currency. Right, I've got 2 left. I may buy more, for $1.99 for the 1 chip if I'm desperate. But it costs me significantly less to move a strap than it does to move a plate. So if you can share straps, especially in your 100% and above straps, you're going to save yourself a world of currency if you're able to do that.
Absolutely. And if you're a person that doesn't spend for strap currency, before you throw a plate on somebody, I'd spend a few minutes logging into YouTube or Discord on the Champ server or Merrick's YouTube channel and look at the videos and say, can I build this person? Do I have the right plate? Is this the right plate for this person? Because there's a lot of people that are still running Triple H with the Piper's plate, and in the current meta, it doesn't quite do enough. And there are so many better characters that could use that. So before you like, hey, I got Triple H, and you throw that Piper's plate on them, spend a little time looking into it because strap currency, even for those of us that buy the Strap Pass, we still have to make calculated moves because if we go over that, well, we're stuck for the next 30 days or we have to spend more to move these plates that, for a lot of us, we paid for most of these plates we've got.
Yep.
Now, the last thing I'll say about plates, a lot of the community gets a little frustrated at videos because they're like, oh, plates, it's got to have a plate. Feud has changed so much over the past, call it 6 months. You can get mini plates for free by just feuding. The first feud of this month, I unlocked an LA Knight plate.
Yeah.
Didn't pay a dime. Did not pay a dime. I just feuded. It took hours to get to the max, but I did it because I knew that it's not in my budget to spend this month, and I could use a couple new plates for some of the new characters I've got. It's a roll of the dice of what you get, but it is a free way that Scopely has given us to obtain these plates that are sometimes rare, sometimes it's like, oh, that one again. But it costs you nothing but time, and you didn't have to spend a dime.
Right.
So if you're one that can't afford to spend on the game on a regular basis or choose to play free to play completely, these plates are still available to you outside of the prize walls. You just got to grind for them.
That's right. Well said. Well, we'll wrap this up. We're trying to keep this series under 10 minutes, and we may have more ideas for you. Or if you've got a question about something simple that you've never heard anyone walk you through, leave it in the comments of this video for us and let us know what you'd like to see us demonstrate to help you and your faction. That's it for us today. We'll see you next time, friends.